Are you ready to take control of your productivity, to really get more out of the time you invest in doing the things, whether that's in your business or in your personal life? If you are, then watch this video for some great tips on how to move forward and be more productive and achieve more with your time. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jenny Morgan from ActionCOACH UK, and today's video is all about productivity, and this is our personal productivity and getting the most out of our time and what we can do with it. And what we're going to do over the next few minutes is look at some top tips and some activities you can do to really understand where your time's going and how you might be able to use it better to make sure you get more results from the time you're spending working on your business or in other things in your life. So this video is all about personal productivity, so how you as an individual can get more out of what you're doing with your time in order to achieve more or get more things done over a period of time. If you're interested in productivity from a business standpoint and a team standpoint, there's a great video actually around process mapping and how to understand that and how it increases productivity as well, so that might be another good place to go to. But for this one, it will work in your business, but it's all about you or other individuals in your team doing things. So personal productivity is often about what we choose to spend our time doing. And sometimes it feels like there's not a choice. We've all been there. We're busy rushing about, people phone us, they demand things from us. There's a list of things as long as you're on that need doing and some. But actually we've got a choice in which things we're doing. So what we want you to do with this session is to look at, well, what are you doing with your time at the minute? And the first thing to do really is to track where that time's going. So if this is all about you at work, okay, well, if you come into Monday morning at 9 o'clock and start work, what do you do? What's your first job on your list and how long did it take you? What comes next? And track that for a couple of weeks so you can really understand what you're spending your time doing, because then we can start to analyse it and go, is this something I should be spending my time doing as the business owner, the business manager, or whatever your role is? Or actually, is it something somebody else could be doing, or do we just not need to be doing it? It doesn't make sense. So once we've got your time audit and we know what you're spending your time doing, what we want to do is take the categories of that and say, actually, are these things that are important to do or not? And what we're going to do is put them onto a 4-box grid. So loads of people will have seen these before. You draw a cross in the middle of the page like this, and then we're going to put a heading on the columns and a heading for each row. So our headings for the columns are going to be urgent, not urgent. And our headings across the rows, or the lines for the rows, are going to be important and not important. And what that's going to do is essentially give you 4 categories. It's going to give you urgent and important, urgent and not important, not urgent but still important, not urgent and not important, okay? And then you're going to take your time audit and the categories of work you do, and you're going to plot them into the 4 boxes. So you're going to focus really hard on, okay, if I spent my time spending 3 days of this week answering phone calls, right, well, where did they fit? What were they about? Were they actually urgent? Probably, because the phone was ringing, somebody wanted you to answer it. But were they important? Maybe not, depending on what the calls were about. Okay, so we want you to allocate the different tasks you're doing to those different boxes. And the reasoning behind that is it really forces you to think about, should you be doing it or not? So if you've got anything sat in the box that says not urgent and not important, there's a real question about why are we doing that, okay? And we've probably all got something. It's okay, don't feel bad about it, but working out what it is means that you can go, actually, I don't need to do that anymore, let's just stop. So that's our first box, that we can get rid of all of that stuff. We can just ditch it and stop doing. Then we can look at, actually, what's the stuff that's falling into it's urgent and it's important, because that's the stuff we need to do. It's demand, okay? So we need to make sure that the stuff that's in there is stuff you personally should be doing, because it might be, if it's not for you, you can delegate some of it. But the majority of the stuff in there, we need to do it. And all we need to do is work out how we're going to fit that in the week. And for most managers, leaders, owners of businesses, in an ideal world, we want you to do 60-70% of your time at most on that sort of stuff, okay? But it's going to be all about just getting it done. The next most important box is going to be our not urgent but important box, okay? And that's really important to us, but it's the one that we often miss the work out from, okay? It's the one that involves doing the planning, the sitting down and thinking stuff, the looking at where we want to go, the exploring different marketing options to get new customers in, understanding our finances. Why has the bank account gone down? Why has it gone up so much? What's happening with our sales conversion? All of these things are things that they're really important to do in a business and to understand, but there's nobody shouting at you to get them done. So the demand for it's not there. So what we need to do with those is go, well, how do we plan in time for them? And that's where we want the rest of your time to be going, or the majority of it, okay? So actually we're focusing in on for 30, maybe 40% of the time, going, actually we're working on stuff that's going to drive us forward in the long term. And with that, we can plan it into our day, structure it and go, right, we know we can get that done now, okay? Our final box is the stuff that's urgent but not important. And generally speaking, the best thing to do with this, because what we might call it is delusion. We feel really busy. The phone keeps ringing, I'm really busy, I can't possibly do anything else, I've not got enough hours in the day to do everything. But actually we're deluding ourselves because it's not really important we answer that phone call. If you're sitting there as a business owner with a team of people that can answer sales calls, and you're still answering them because everybody's got your personal mobile, it's sitting there in that delusion bit. Of course it's important that the sales call gets answered, but not by you as a person. You've got a team of people who could do that for you. So this box is all about delegating. So what we want you to do is look at all the different things you're spending your time on, allocate them into the boxes, and then look at what's the appropriate action. Delegate the stuff that doesn't need to be you doing it but needs doing, and anything that just doesn't need doing, well, let's stop it and move on from there. So hopefully if you go away and do these two activities, log your time, map them onto the matrix, and then look at what you can do with it, what it should start to do is free up some time, because there's going to be some stuff that you stop doing, there's going to be some stuff you delegate, and that's going to give you time to do that stuff you never get to at the minute. So thanks for joining me today in the video around productivity and personal productivity. Don't forget that if you're enjoying this stuff, subscribe to the channel, because there's a couple more videos that are really relevant around productivity, so if you can find those on there, then they're really going to help you as well. If you want to work through it with somebody, go on the ActionCOACH.co.uk site and find your local coach, have a conversation with them to see how they could help you achieve this. Have a great day everybody, look forward to seeing you soon.